Hello everyone, welcome to Yadnya Investment Academy. Today we are going to do a mutual fund review. Let me first explain the methodology of the review. We will list and review the fund on various parameters and rate each parameter by green, yellow or red star. Green star means good performance, yellow star means average performance and red means below average performance. In the end, based on the total number of green, yellow and red star respectively, you can take a call to buy this fund or not. Please remember, all the fund parameters we are going to discuss here are based on 24th March 2017 data as reference, and we only review regular and growth plans of mutual funds. In this video, we are going to review fund name Kotak Tax Saver, which is a ELSS fund launched in 2005. Before going into review, let's understand about fund's objectives. The fund invests primarily in equity and equity related instruments and is ideal fund for long-term capital appreciation. It is a large cap oriented fund and enables investors to avail tax deductions from total income as permitted under Section 80C of Income Tax Act. Now let's start the detailed review on each parameter. First, the fund belongs to Kotak Mahindra Mutual Fund family, which is currently India's 7th biggest fund house in terms of asset under management out of more than 45 fund houses and was established in 1998. So for being a decently large and experienced fund house, we give them a green star here. Tax Saver Fund was launched in November 2005, which means it is active for more than 10 years. So let's give a green star here too for being an experienced fund which has seen all ups and downs. Fund is categorized in ELSS category as it gives Section 80C tax deductions for investing and has a 3-year lock-in. Now moving to next, this fund has a relatively smaller AUM of 552 crores and ranks 15th biggest ELSS fund among a population of around 40. AUM is definitely not too low to be worried about, but also not among the top, so deserves a yellow star on this parameter. Now let's talk about the moolah, that is the returns. We will first talk about the trailing returns from 24th March date and then talk about calendar returns. In trailing returns, we can see the fund has given decent returns. It has consistently beaten its benchmark index, that is Nifty 500, across all 1, 3, 5 and 10 years, and has also beaten the category average returns in short term across period of 1 and 3 years and is almost equal to average in 5-year trailing returns. Long-term returns are little cause of concern, that is 10-year trailing returns, and could be a cause of relatively lower AUM. Category average here means all the ELSS funds combined return average. Now looking at calendarized returns of last 10 years from 2007 to 2016, which means returns from 1st Jan to 31st December of a calendar year, we see that there have been 3 instances when fund was beaten by both benchmark and category average, that is in 2008, 2009 and 2013, and fund has performed dismally in 2009 and 13, being far from benchmark returns too. But all is not that bad. They had pretty good performance in 2012, 14 and 16, and good part is all these years are recent years. So does it mean fund is improving lately? Maybe. In rest of the years, it has given near category average returns. So looking at this, we see inconsistent calendar year performance of this fund, but few good years of late may be a good news. So due to this inconsistent but good short term and average long term performance, we give this fund 2 yellow stars on this parameter. Next important parameter is fund manager. Kotak seemed to have renewed the focus on Tax Saver Fund and has therefore given its charge to their star fund manager and equity CIO Harsha Upadhyaya since August 2015. Harsha is a BE from NIT and MBA from IIM Lucknow as well as CFA and has been part of fund house since 2012. Harsha leads Kotak's flagship equity fund, which is Kotak Select Focus, since August 2012 and has given exceptional return performance. Select Focus is a multicap fund with more than 8,000 crore AUM and is a very popular fund which has always beaten its benchmark and category since launch in 2009, both in trailing and calendar year return perspective. Harsha also leads another important multi-cap fund of Kotak Opportunities Fund, which has a AUM of more than 1200 crores and is also giving above average performance. Harsha has also managed few important funds in his earlier stint in UTI 2, and those funds too performed pretty well during his tenure. So for Tax Saver Fund, it is difficult to comment on performance of Harsha with such short time period, but we can already see fund gaining momentum, especially in good short-term returns. So even though the fund has a new manager, we still give this parameter a green star just because of Harsha's amazing credentials and record, as well as changing momentum of the fund in short term. Next parameter is top stock holdings of the fund and understanding the fund's diversification. As on 24th March, fund has 52 stocks in portfolio with top 5 contributing little more than 21%. This shows fund has very good diversification in portfolio and weightage of top 5 companies is lower than our benchmark of 25%, and hence we give this parameter a green star. Next parameter is sector diversification. Top 3 sectors contributes to more than 50% and fund is definitely overweight on financial sector, and therefore we give this parameter a yellow star. Next are expenses. Expense ratio of this fund is 2.43%, which is very near to average expense ratio of this category, that is around 2.5%, and hence deserves a yellow star. For those who like numbers, let's discuss few important ratios too. Standard deviation, a measure of volatility and risk, is little higher than benchmark and category, which means it takes little higher risk as them. Beta 2 is a measure of risk and is also little higher than the category and again shows little higher risk it takes. Alpha, which measures the risk adjusted returns. So 10 alpha means it can perform 10% better than the benchmark. So as expected, by taking little higher risk, it is showing better alpha than category as well. Last is P ratio of the portfolio, which is 23.5 and is less than the benchmarks index NSE 500's 26.9. So fund is not too risky and has decent return profile with higher alpha and lower P. Hence deserves a green star. Few other info to note about the fund is that it is a multi-cap fund with large cap bias and hence has 65% allocation in large cap and rest is mid cap and small cap. And this table shows how rupees 10,000 SIP would have performed in various time frames and prove pretty good returns this fund has given continuously. So if we calculate, we got total 5 green stars and 5 yellow stars, with inconsistent past performance being the biggest concern. To summarize, Kotak Tax Saver is an average risk fund in ELSS category. It is a multi-cap fund with large cap bias. Overall fund's performance is very near to ELSS category average, but we are seeing more consistent performance in last 2-3 years. Harsha Upadhyaya, the CIO of Kotak Equity, has started managing this fund since 2015, which shows renewed focus on this fund by the fund house. These are early days for Harsha to make any significant impact on the fund, but his credentials are outstanding and we are very optimistic that with Harsha at helm, this fund has better days ahead. So that is all on this fund review. If you have any question, please do write in the comment section below. Have a great time ahead.